Once upon a time, high above the rotting roots, cloth and metal teeth guilty, guilty, guilty.
Hello everybody, it's me. I just got done with my first class of the morning. I gave away some more cups here. So the numbers is dwindling down nowadays. So that's exciting. The last group will come in and they'll pick up some of theirs as well. And then hopefully they like them. But my morning class, it was great because after they finished their glazing, I took them to a place like a coffee shop, which was kind of cool. And I got them like a muffin and like coffee if they wanted, or one of them got like a mocha. So it was just kind of a cool thing to just do, just because the last day, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot to do. It's not like you're gonna start a new project after you finish glazing on the last day. I mean, that's it. So it was cool. We did a lot of talking about like life and stuff, and I told them about this, like, it's called like a stoned ape theory, right? And it's all about like, apparently there was like these like monkeys, well, maybe they weren't like monkeys, they're like early hominids, right? And we were like following around these animals to like eat them, and they would poop, and in their poop during that time there was like a mushroom that would like form out of their fecal matter, and then we would eat those mushrooms, and supposedly within the course of like a couple, like 10,000 years or something, like our brain size like tripled, right? And so I thought it was just kind of cool. So just telling all sorts of stories with each other, and that was just a really relaxing little time. And then it was cool because another student from my kid class, they gave me that little gift card, and like, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna use it like in a way that's just not like totally for myself, so I use that gift card to get me and these students a thing. And so that was like a really cool like moment for me. And so that's just kind of how it goes, so I've been really enjoying sort of these last final days with these classes. It's kind of a good energy, to make with people who like want to be here. Love that vibe. And so that's kind of about it. I'm getting ready for this next class here, and they'll be getting some cups, and then they'll get the last of their things, and then that's it for this class too. So, and then tonight, I hope you guys liked that last video that I made. I thought that was like killer. I did the edited thing and then the other parts of it, and so I'm thinking with tonight I'm gonna do another thing where I do like an edited video, like, and that'll be the intros, right? And I used to do this all the time with my other videos. I would start with like some sort of skit or something at the beginning, and then I'd go like really crazy into the what's it called of it, like the theatrics of the intros, and then I'd have like a really drawn out video of like me playing a game. But now I can use that, and I can like make these edited pottery videos, the intros for the videos. So I think that's kind of a cool thing. So, but all right, I'll let you guys do your thing, or you'll let me do my thing, and I'll see you guys around. Okay, see you in a sec. Alrighty. here we are, and I will be throwing with you guys today. I guess I'll start off by talking about my class after my first class. There was a person, I don't know, she just stopped showing up, so it's whatever, that sort of just happens sometimes. Some people get really into the clay thing, and then some people not so much, and that's fine either way, but she didn't pick up some of her stuff, so I was a little bit sad. She might not, okay, I need to really change this position of the camera here. You guys aren't gonna see like anything. So hold on, let me just. All right, this should be better. Oh well, now you guys have to see me. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster. What the heck? All right. Just like that, that's okay. Flip it up. Man, I'm risking it right now on that ledge. All right, say a prayer, guys, that it doesn't fall. Because that's like, I don't know, this does not look good right now for our camera friend here. But anyway, my second class, they're a great group. They didn't really have too much to do today, so I had to load a kiln. So after they were done glazing their stuff, I was just like, well, you guys want to learn about kilns? So I was teaching them about, like what that little peg in the thing is, in the kiln is the thermocouple, and you definitely don't want to break that. That's like reading the temperature of the kiln. And I taught them about how to load and like sort of the mindset I place myself in when I'm loading a kiln, right? Like sometimes it's weird to think about making things, but in regards to the kiln, right? Like it's weird to like imagine like your work actually needs to fit in amongst other objects. So I was telling them like things that are cylindrical by nature are really nice to load, where things that are very wide, like some wide bowls and plates, they're a little bit more cumbersome, especially in smaller kilns, just because it's harder to organically fit them in while also having enough space for the stilts and for each of the shelves to go in as well. And so it's just kind of hard to like imagine it when you're just only making, right? But all of a sudden, once you get to see sort of how things get loaded in, I think that changed the things that I'd make a little bit as well, right? And some would say that maybe that's a bad thing. Like you want to be totally like liberated with the clay and like nothing's holding you down. But I think it's actually kind of cool. There's something that's magical about like, I remember filling up my first kiln all by myself, just everything in my own work in there. And there was something so magical about being able to fit everything in as tight as possible, right? And I know visually it doesn't really change anything. Well, it actually depends on if the atmosphere of the kiln. It could change things, but like mentally, I think it adds something to the pots, right? They feel very like considered. I feel like pots that have a bunch of friends in the kiln are happy pots. Pots that are like in a kiln all alone, they're a little bit dead. They don't have a lot of life in them. So sometimes making batches is cool because then again you're like, sorry, this is an important poll. I don't even know what I was talking about. I got lost in the sauce. Sorry, guys. But anyway, it was just kind of cool talking to them. And one of the kids is taking my class again, and they're talking about things they want to make next semester. And one of them wants to make a crown out of clay, which, oh my gosh, that when they said that, I was like, that really piqued my interest. I was like, you know what? Like, I'll totally just make a crown with you guys. So maybe that's gonna be what I do next time with the young ones, is we'll all just make a crown together. I'm letting this go a little bit wider at the top here. Make sure I can press that rim. I'm gonna feel the thickness at the bottom. I think we're kind of ready for our pole. But after that class was done, there was like a parade or something happening, so I was kind of stuck in traffic for a little bit, so it took me a while to get home. But still, it was a good day. And after that, I've just been thinking about what I want to make next. It's kind of hard sometimes when you have so many ideas. Like, you gotta balance, like, what are you gonna make every single day. And sometimes you get so many options that it sort of stunts your productivity, because you're just thinking about all the things you should be doing and not actually doing them. And so, just making sure I get everything done. Oh my God, look at that one. Wow. So I'll tell you what I did there. Instead of starting above this, you can't really see, but there's an interior spiral here, right? Instead of starting above it, I started on it, but slowly with my fingers went outward, rather than starting above it, then drastically pulling it out. So then that this taper feels more natural than on some of the pots. It feels a little bit like too forced, right? And so this pot, yeah, this one is beautiful. I think this one is like beautiful too to like the typical ceramic enjoyer, right? Like, we think about who are the people who are enjoying pots. Like, I mean, you look online and that's your biggest consumption of pottery imagery, right? And you look at those pots and 90% of those pots look pretty much the same, right? And why is that? It's all like simple, simple shapes, simple forms. Sometimes they're complex, but it's always like total excess or total simplicity, right? And I feel like it's hard for people to blend those together, like the form and what goes on the form, right? There's a lot of people who do simple forms and then like almost like an average looking surfacing, or a very simple forms and a complex surfacing, I should say. Like maybe it's like a cool image of a dragon or something. And I'm all for dragons, but I also think pottery has its own language that people aren't abusing, right? Like, pottery as itself is just like a form generation tool, is very wonderful. I think a lot of people spend their whole time in pottery trying to mask that, right? Whether that's like no confidence in the skills that they have with throwing, right? That's where I was. That's why I first started ceramics. Everything that I had was always covered with like facial features or like some sculptural elements. And I think deep down inside it was because I wasn't confident with the form itself. I felt like I needed to mask it. And only when I decided that it didn't matter, I just got to start getting my forms up to par, is when I actually started to get better at ceramics, right? So I think it's important for me to sort of tell my pottery truth. That sounds super cringe, but just like through like through making, we have opinions on the objects that we create, right? And so that's what I think, is important. And I'm all for people doing those like very Instagram worthy pottery, right? But I don't necessarily think that's the best way. And I think that's okay. It's not like I'm like gonna like grab my pitchfork and torch and like yell at people online about they're making like shitty pots or something. I just want to be able to say that, I also had an opinion, whether it was popular or not, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted an opinion that was like my own, right? Dang, we're cracking open a peanut of a deep peanut here. But I think a lot of people, they don't ever form their own opinions, right? And it's a hard thing to do because you're such a product of like the people you're surrounded by, right? And it's hard to sort of imagine those like relationships that like rubber bands. It's hard for those rubber bands, you to escape those, especially the more relationships you have with people, the more that they're going to be holding you into a certain ideology or a way of thinking, right? And so for me, it's like super important that I try to break those rubber bands holding me in place and conform opinions that, I just sat with and thought about, right? I've always sort of, not like rolled my eyes, but when you talk to people and you just hear the same old thing coming from their voice, it's like, why am I even talking to people, right? Like, I want to talk to a human because they have something like special or something unique experience that they can share with me that may enlighten my way of thinking, right? I don't want to have conversations with the same ideologies over and over and over and over and over again. And I just hope that people one day understand that potentially going along with the crowd is not really the way all the time, right? It's important to have those sort of like self-discovered opinions, right? Even if those things even if they're opinions that nobody's talking about, who cares? Like, they're your opinions. I think everybody's trying to have opinions on the things that everybody's talking about. It's like, come on, guys, like, let's just like sit with our own thoughts for a little bit. If you're gonna tell me why you hate like ants and all ants need to die or something, tell me about the ants and why they need to die, because I know nothing about ants other than they kind of creep me out whenever I see them in my home, right? I want to like really learn some crazy opinions from people. And so go. Got that centered. But yeah, that's kind of my tirade? Tangent? Maybe it's tangent. It's sort of my tangent on like life and thinking and philosophy, maybe. I don't know. But right now, when I made that other pot just now, and that one was actually really good. I think that one kind of flowed. This pot right now, I'm already feeling some of the battling. Like, it's already not a good sign when I'm trying to do that, call it my hammer, when I bring down the hammer right on the clay to finish off that centering. When I'm having some like centering troubles right then and there, I know that maybe there's an air bubble, maybe there's something in the clay, and it's actually going to be a little bit harder to deal with to get a totally even thing. And usually that's fine because I don't need to get a totally even pot, right? And here I am, I'm just taking this I'm cupping up underneath here. You can see it sort of buckling up, and I'm pushing my interior hand against that clay. And you can see it just evens out those walls ever so slightly. I heard somebody say that's like an English technique, but I think that's like, to be honest, I think it's all bogus. You think you're the first one to do it on the wheel? I don't know, man. There's probably some ancient dude in like Babylonian times, freaking just absolutely savage on the pottery wheel. So I don't know if I'd call it British. There we go. I'm getting pretty thin already on the top, so I'm going to sort of compress that edge on the top there. I'm going to do one more stretching pull on the bottom, and I'm really going to try to get a lot of that clay up over the finger. We're going to go nice and slow, because if you look closely, you can see that bottom is sort of kicking out. Great. Okay. So the bottom's kicking out. It's a little bit thin down there, that's why. But that's okay. And so that's what I mean, like I could kind of feel that there's some off-centered bits on that bottom part. But, we're going to get some water on this bottom area here. Oh man, that messed that one up totally. Super funky here. Okay. I gotta use a tool now. You can see I'm gonna go down at the bottom here. Okay. Kind of get that back in line there. Say, clay, come on back. We got it sort of back where we want it. We're going to start our lines. We're going to do some tight lines this time, so we're going to go slow, 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 slow. And just bring those up. Kind of messed up here, but we're going to make sure we get this so the way that we want it to be. There we go. Then take these up. Take these up, take these up. And so this way, we can sort of fix those parts, but I'm already getting some rips, but that's okay. Again, we're just sort of touching the clay ever so slightly, and we're already really freaking twisted here. Okay, so we don't need to do too much else other than spread our fingers wide here and let it sort of do its thing. I mean, that is twisted as all get out. You can see where it ripped, it really folded over. Almost created like a corkscrew here. So kind of has a cool look to it right now. So we're going to try to finish it. Obviously now, since it's so thin and it's already displaced, right, I got to be slower on the wheel, because if I went really fast, that thing's just going to get spun out, right? It already might fall, right? And so that's what I'm looking for. As it's turning, I'm looking for some small undulations on the form, sort of starting to dip down, but it's looking pretty okay. And part of that reason is that this fold is sort of keeping it like that twisted. Think of it almost like a braid, right? Like a braided thing is going to be a lot tougher than just, a small little all right, it's starting to fall. You guys see that? Look at that. You guys can see that, right? Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to just help it out so we can go back to spinning it. And we're just going to twist it tighter and get on the middle. I mean, this thing looks like mauled, right? Like this pot looks crazy. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. That's great. Okay. And yeah, this is kind of a hard thing here, but we're gonna just go do the normal boom 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 boom. Look at that. Crazy. Really liking what I'm seeing here. And that's kind of just about done. I got some fissures, right, from overhydration of the clay, right? There's so much, I use a lot of water, and so using so much water that if the clay isn't stretchy enough and there's water getting in between those particles, it will literally just start to tear itself apart. So you can kind of see that in some spots, like there's a fissure. Some of the bits under it is a fissure as well, but all right, I'm gonna get ready to go play basketball, so I'll see you guys later here. All right, peace. I'm literally gonna freaking murder people on the court tonight. Seriously, I feel so much in the zone. I feel pretty good though. So this will be good because this is the first time I'm gonna be back. Freaking on the fucking court, b-balling it up since I've been sick. So I'm pretty excited to just do sporting activities again. And then I'm getting prepped for December 31st. I'm gonna be at the gym. I'm gonna be at the gym like a mad lad. I think I want to do like a pottery video where, you know, I'm pretty thin right now. I should have started it when I started making the videos because that's when I really changed my diet and I lost like 20 pounds. And so it's like, if you go back to the first videos that I ever made, I'm like a little bit thicker in those videos, and so that would have been the perfect time to do it because I had some belly on me. And so then could you imagine, like, I do a pottery video, I'm just kind of like, you know, puffed up, and then all of a sudden as I hit the clay, you know, my arm freaking gets beefed up midway, blows up like a balloon, and then hits the clay. Ah, oh, dude, that'd be like top 10 pottery videos like ever, I think. You know, like that would go down in the legacy of potters. But yeah, all right, guys. I'll see you when I get there, maybe after. But I'm gonna fucking win! I lost. Again. We lost twice. But it's okay. I felt like today was so good to be back. And a bunch of people who are also ceramic artists, you know, they were also playing with me. So it was just a team of only ceramic people, you know. And that was, for me, that was like huge, you know. That was really fun to be able to play and hang out with them, right? So yeah, you know, still sad. You know, whenever I play, I always want to win. That is like, I want to win and I want to have a good time, and I want to make sure like not only I shine, right, but the people around me also shine, right? Like when I see somebody like do like some crazy play, oh my gosh, is that like, that pumps me up more than you can know, right? So I mean, that's always really exciting. And then I mean, what else? I'm wearing a hat, backwards hat, to keep the hair out of my face. There's a couple times where I was blindfolded by my hair. It like went right in my eyes, so it was kind of good getting rid of that. With this hat here. Right now I'm looking at some ceramic kilns being fired. It's always a good feeling. Whenever I'm around this place, I get such a good aura, you know. So yep, now I'm gonna go home. I'm almost finished editing, so I'm just gonna tack this on the end here. I'm really worn out. I was running so much today. Today I really put the wheels on. I can already feel that I'm gonna be sore, right? Like I'm looking forward to that pain tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up and my legs are gonna feel like some like heavy fish or something, you know. I'm just freaking so pumped up for that. And yeah, that's about it, you know. I'm just gonna go home, but thank you guys so much for watching. It's always it means a lot to me seeing you guys, like seeing that I'm getting like some more constant views, so that's freaking great, you know. I used to only get like 1, now I'm getting like a good steady like 12. That is like, oh, it's a good feeling. So thank you guys so much. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace out.